Those of you who do not know who I am, please stand. Please stand if you don't know who I am at all. Never heard of me, don't know who I am, never watched content from me. Fantastic. I would like to see more people who don't know who I am, because I'm pretty sure everyone else is sick of hearing me talk. Those of you who follow me, who's in the Annuity Giants Facebook group? Who doesn't know what the Annuity Giants Facebook group is? If you have Facebook, go look it up. It's awesome. Okay. You ever heard, if you talk first, you lose? What if I just sat up here and I was just really quiet and just waited? Who would be the first one to talk? I was going to say Zach Munger. Awesome. All right, so last time I talked a lot about me and who I am and my credentials and whatnot, but I'm just going to make it really simple, guys, because today I want to make sure that you get as much value out of today as possible. And since you're all Medicare agents, or I would say the vast majority of you, because you're at a Medicare conference, you probably don't specialize in things like annuities. And maybe some of you don't like them. Maybe some of you have sold them in the past. Maybe some of you have come across them and have had bad experiences, and that's okay. This time in which you have with me today, this 34 minutes and 42, 41, 40, 39, this is education, all right? I want to make sure that you guys understand what these things are. It's going to be very educational, but it's going to be fun, I promise. So just a little bit about me. It says who cares, because honestly, who cares, okay? So a little bit about me is I used to be a captive agent with Bankers Life. Was there in 2017, I got licensed September of 2017. I decided after 8 months that I wanted something different. I know there are probably captive agents in here, so I'm going to be nice. I wanted something where when I offered something to a client, it was the best that was out there for them. So I decided to leave, okay? I was one of their top agents when I did that, one of their top rookie agents, and I left and I went under a financial advisor, under an RIA, and that's where I started to understand more about annuities during that time. Okay, I was still writing Medicare primarily, and then we had a really bad falling out, and he technically kind of fired me, and it was in AEP of 2019, and it was like November, and I was like rocking, and I was rolling, and I was excited, and I was making money, and I was doing things well, and then it was just shloop, you can't write any more business. Yikes. How do I feed my family? How do I keep everything rocking and rolling? And I contribute a lot of what happened after that to a man who might not be in here today, but he's here, and his name's Chris Weir. Chris, are you in here? The reason why I contribute a lot of that to Chris is because in 2020, during COVID, I had no idea how to market, no idea how to get in front of people for Medicare. All I knew is that somebody referred me to this company called Lead Concepts. It's like, what is that? He did not pay me to say this, by the way. I might send you a bill later, though. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this out. It was 2020. COVID hit. I put out mailers, and I was getting 4 to 6% on them. Now, great timing, by the way. Okay, so you're not going to get that normally. And that is what actually gave me the ability to have my wife, who's here in the audience today, first time hearing me speak, love you. She was able to actually quit her job and became a stay-at-home mom because of 2020. I was able to gather somewhere around 500+ clients during that year in Medicare and started to get more into annuities, which led me into 2021, where I decided to do annuities full-time. What got me to doing annuities full-time was, I think I'm the type of guy that just likes different challenges. Was I at the pinnacle with Medicare? No. Is there still a lot that I could have learned about Medicare? Absolutely. But my brain works a little bit differently. I really enjoy numbers, which is really weird because I failed almost every math class in high school and college. And my mother, by the way, is here in the audience, so she could probably attest to that. Yeah, I wasn't good at math, but for some reason I was drawn to annuities. Maybe it was the big man upstairs. Okay, so my mission now, as somebody who solely focuses on annuities, is to try to get people, whether it's agents, whether it's consumers, to get you guys educated. Okay, the number one problem I see with agents when they're trying to get into the annuity space is knowledge. They don't know what they don't know. they're taught bad habits. They're taught unrealistic expectations. They're taught to chase commissions, right? Nobody actually knows what annuities do. We're going to talk about that today. So why annuities? Well, if you don't do it, or if you don't partner with somebody that will do it, somebody else will. And I bet you they screw it up. Out of the millions of dollars I've written in annuities, probably more tens of millions now, I probably have come across more bad annuities and good annuities that were designed poorly by about tenfold compared to good ones. It's very rare that I see it. Do I blame the advisor? Do I blame the agent? Do I blame them? Most of the time, no. Most of the time, it's whoever taught them that, okay? So that's my mission here today, okay? If you offer them, or if you partner with somebody who offers them, okay, to problem solve for your clients, that's exactly what they're there to do, is to solve a problem. Cross-selling. Who here cross-sells outside of Medicare? Who here just does Medicare? I said it like snotty, and you're like, I'm not going to raise my hand. But there are some of you. Cross-selling is awesome. It's not just because it helps your pocketbook or wallet get bigger. It's retention. It helps the clients. You're putting somebody in a better position, right? Hey, look it helps with overall retention. That's exactly what annuities can do. Easier conversation to have when you already have a client who already trusts you, right? So something that we've seen with a lot of big Medicare agencies that we're working with right now is the fact that when we start to bring up the conversation, yeah, sometimes they're a little bit more turned off to it, but it's a heck of a lot easier versus somebody who has no idea who you are, right? It obviously can boost your income. Who here has heard that annuities have high commission rates? Who here knows what the commission rates are in annuities? Zach Munger, you know everything, don't you? Wealth of knowledge over here. You can make a lot, okay? We just helped a Medicare agency. We just closed almost $5 million in business for that one referral agency that we're working with, and it's going to generate roughly about $400,000 in commission. That was from 32 referrals, by the way. 32. You know how much time it took them to do that for us? Probably an extra 2 minutes per lead or per referral. That's it. You go do the math. Tell me if that's not a good ROI for you. Gives clients financial freedom. I have 3 pillars in my company. It's funny, people make fun of me. They're like, 3 pillars. That's not very strong. 4 or 5, right? We have 3. I don't know. I'm a simpleton. Okay. Purpose, self-care, financial freedom. Okay. We want to establish a purpose or help our clients establish a purpose. We want to make sure they're taking care of themselves to get there, and we want to make sure their finances are supporting that, right? Financial freedom. And obviously, when you start writing annuities, it helps with your networking. Who here networks with financial advisors, right? Awesome network partners. You got to be careful with the annuities. Understandable, okay? You got to be careful. But if you have a really good relationship, sometimes separating managed money with annuities is actually a phenomenal partnership, okay? Who here saw my booth out there? Raise your hand. Come on, geez. It's right out the doors. It's the nice one. I spent $200 to send the box here that looked like a body the way that it was wrapped. It's kind of funny. I'm going to go through real quick what is on that booth. Okay, I said today we're going to talk about education because it means a lot to me that you guys are educated, and we're going to talk about it, okay? So I created this kind of brochure, and if you guys want it, let me know. I'm going to have you email me, and I'll send it over to you as a white labeled version so you can use it for your clients, okay? Spent a lot of time on it, and it's just education, guys. That's all it is. It's just educating you and educating your clients and educating whoever you want to share it with, okay? I know that's really small. You don't have to. Zach, can you read that for me? All of it right now? Go. $50 in like a series of 300 payments. So this is out there. It's talking about what is an annuity. So let's just talk about what is an annuity, okay? Who here has heard annuities are bad? Or you've seen a bad annuity? Or you've had a client had a bad experience with annuities? Good. Because 90% of annuities suck. And I'm serious. 90% of annuities suck. They have a lot of characteristics that don't make sense for somebody. They make more sense for an insurance company, okay? An annuity in general is a contract between a consumer and an insurance company. And that contract is for some specific benefit, okay? And this contract is designed to come in two different categories, immediate and deferred. Who here has ever heard of an immediate annuity before? Who here has ever heard of a deferred annuity before? Phenomenal, okay? Very simple. An immediate is designed to give you income immediately or accessibility immediately. Deferred is designed to be deferred over a period of time. Wow, it's life-changing, right? It is very challenging. Now, there's obviously more here. Go to my table and you can read it, okay? Within immediate and deferred annuities, okay, you have other categories, kind of subcategories. And I grouped two different types of annuities together here for simplicity, but they are technically separate, which is fixed and multi-year guarantee annuities. Who here has heard of MYGAs? MYGA, multi-year guarantee annuity, okay? Really simple, you guys. It is a fixed interest rate for a period of time. That's it, okay? It's a fixed interest rate for a period of time. So if you go buy a $100,000 fixed, or MYGA, fixed and MYGAs are different. I know somebody, Ron Ray's going to give me a hard time about it or something because he knows too. We're just going to categorize them in the same category for right now, okay? So fixed annuity, you put $100,000 in at 5%, it compounds. Normally they set it up to compound yearly. Sometimes it's simple interest, okay? It compounds after a period of time, it's accessible to you. Really simple. What can you put in there? You can put cash, you can put Roth money, you can roll over 401ks, IRAs, you can put in some cases, you can put it inherited money in, okay? It's simple. Some people are like, well, is it like a CD? No, but it's very similar. A CD is not tax deferred like an annuity is. Annuities are tax deferred, okay? But it's simple interest, okay? That's all it is. Now, why, Tracy, are you talking about this fixed product? Can we move on? I know it's simple. Because interest rates are really high right now, guys, and if you guys aren't at least sharing this information with clients, I can tell you it solves a lot of problems. Maybe people are really sick of their money in the market right now going, maybe this gives them peace of mind, right? You would never put all of somebody's money in an annuity, by the way, but you would put a portion. Sometimes it's very small portion. Sometimes it's a very big portion, okay? There's this little thing called suitability. You guys know suitability guidelines, right? Carrier suitability is like a standard you shouldn't follow. You should be better than that. There are a lot of carriers out there that will allow you to place business that you probably shouldn't place, okay? If it seems wrong, it probably is wrong. So understand, these are complicated sometimes. You got to look at income. You got to look at expenses. You have to look at assets. You have to look at debt. You have to look at goals. You have to look at risk tolerance. You have to look at future problems, issues, debts, whatever, right? What problem is it solving? It's very, very, very important to understand, okay? So fixed annuities are designed for people that really they're extremely low level of risk prospects. I guess extreme would be cash in the bank, right? But they're very specific contracts that have very specific rules. If you stick with a good company, you shouldn't have to worry about anything, okay? Like insolvency or anything like that. Making sure that they solve a very specific need, which I've already talked about. Very competitive in this environment because of interest rates. Are you guys familiar with the term bond? You guys know what a bond is? Okay. Interest rates, bonds are an inverse relationship with interest rates. Okay? It's a little seesaw, teeter-totter, right? As interest rates go up, bonds go down. Do you guys know what the staple is for like an investment portfolio or a lower risk investor in general and has been? It's called the 60-40. Okay? 60% equities, 40% bonds. Well, interest rates are high, bonds aren't doing too hot, okay? You guys can't give securities advice if you're not securities licensed, but this is something where a lot of people are looking at, maybe not purchasing bonds right now, maybe looking at something a little bit more fixed, okay? These annuities are not investments, guys, gals, understand that. This is not investment advice. You shouldn't be giving your clients investment advice. These are insurance products, okay? Yes, there's a little bit of an overlap there sometimes, okay? Our job is to educate them, not sell them on it, right? Hey, this is an option for you. What kind of questions do you have? Not, hey, you have a 401k. Come here. Hey, you guy. Hey, you have a 401k? Hey, I got a fixed interest rate for you. It's really good. Joshua Youngs, you're amazing. Okay, don't do that. You get yourself in trouble. Okay, don't give buy-sell advice. Get yourself in trouble. Something that we do is called a laddered strategy. Ooh, ladder. Can anybody say ladder? Wow, relax back there. Jeez. Whew. So a laddered strategy is pretty cool. So think of it as there are interest rates that you can lock in for a period of time, right? Whether that's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 year. So how do you know which one to use? Well, if you use a 3 year and then interest rates are still low, or interest rates plummet, then you have something called reinvestment risk, right? Well, what do I do with that money after that if I want to stay in the same risk class, right? So what we do is we do what's called a laddered strategy with MYGAs, where we pick incremental amounts over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, so that every so often, every year, that person has money that comes due, they can do whatever they want. They can reinvest it in an annuity, which is not investment. I'm using that term loosely here, okay? Or we use flexible premium annuities that allow you to dump that money back in, hopefully at a higher rate, okay? Laddering is extremely powerful. A lot of our higher net worth clients are using that right now. Whew. That was just a fixed one. That was a simple one. Whew. Fixed indexed annuities. Who has heard of these bad boys? Oh, yeah. The high commission ones. 6, 7, 8. If you're SILAC, 10, 12. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're one of my favorite products. They are. Okay? It's more about the flexibility inside of them and versatility. That's why I like it. It just so happens they pay me more too. I'm serious. I'm not doing it for the commission, okay? I really do like them, okay? They're the most sold products incorrectly. Most incorrectly sold product by far, okay?
This video is sponsored by none other than Lead Heroes, you guys. Lead Heroes is going to be your one-stop shop when it comes to your Medicare and final expense needs. People ask me all the time, Christian, what type of lead is going to be the best quality for me to work? And I don't really quite know if the answer is going to be a digital marketing lead, a direct mail lead, or a telemarketed lead, but I can say that a telemarketed lead is going to be up there with the best of them in terms of quality. A telemarketed lead has unique quality to it because there's a live person that actually speaks to the prospective customer and gets their verbal consent that they're interested and willing to speak with a licensed agent just like you. Whether it be a pre-scheduled Medicare appointment with a scope of appointment captured and then scheduled on your calendar 48 hours out, or whether it be a custom calling campaign where you call the shots, where your scripts are used, where it's the areas of your choosing, when it's the times of the day that you're choosing. Custom calling is where you pay by the hour, and essentially it's a custom campaign built to your liking. Lead Heroes has got you covered for all of these unique type of marketing needs for agents. There's a link down in the description of this video about Lead Heroes. You can learn more about these incredibly unique lead generation services, and I think you'll want to check it out today so you can continue to grow and explode your business.
Do you guys know what a realistic return is in an annuity? Spit some numbers out. Throw them at me. Realistic average. 5, 6, 7. 23. Get out of here, Sandra. Anybody here thinks it's higher than 7? 2. 4. I'm glad I'm not hearing 10s out here, or 12s or 15s. Somebody I know just said they did between 8 and 10. I don't know about that. An average return in a good accumulation fixed index annuity on average is going to be 3 to 5, maybe 4 to 6, maybe. Okay, it's going to be based on interest rate. Their interest rate products. They're based on interest rates. So if interest rates are high, it's a good product, can hold a rate, yada, yada, does well. Let's talk about what this thing is. A fixed index annuity is basically, in simple terms, it allows you to put money into a fixed account for a period of time or an indexed account. You guys ever heard of the S&P 500 before? Yippee! Top 500 companies out there, right? So an index is a mirror of that, okay? It mirrors what that does. S&P 500 goes up 20%. If you can participate in all of that, you go up 20%. That's pretty cool. There's not an annuity on this planet that gives you 100% participation into that. But an indexed annuity allows you to participate in an index to a certain amount, okay? Something that anybody who's going to sell this product, which you guys seriously need to understand, and I'm going to try not to get angry here because it makes me angry, okay? And I am the annuity giant, but I'm really not that big and I don't want to hurt anybody. If I try to get in a fight with Zach Munger, he'll probably kill me or kiss me, one of the two, I don't know. Hoping the latter. So a fixed indexed annuity, guys, is complicated because people normally pick the wrong ones and they pick the wrong indexes inside of them. Think of these indexes as like investments. They're not, okay, they're indexes, but it's how your money will grow. Hi, Jackson. That's my son, by the way. Daddy loves you. So there's a lot of bad ones out there, guys. A lot of them. A lot of insurance companies will create indexes just to look good on paper when there's like no history on them. The rates that they're offering today are not guaranteed after 1 year. They can just plummet out over time, okay? I know, I'm making it sound really sexy. So you need to make sure you do your due diligence of what companies offer good products at good rates, okay? And that's important. So there's a little thing called a cap rate, and we're going to talk about how these indexes go up. They go up based on one, which is a participation rate. Think of it as a percentage, okay? Participation rate's 50%. That index goes up 10%. How much does the index go up inside of the annuity? 5. You guys are geniuses, okay? If it's a cap rate of 10% and the index goes up 20, how much do you go up? 10. It's a cap, right? Those are two types of indexes you can purchase inside of an annuity. Cap rate and participation rate, and sometimes they're even both. And then you have something called a spread rate, okay, or a margin. A spread rate is a percentage that the insurance company is going to take from that each year. So a spread rate might be 1%, 2%. It could be 5%. I've actually seen I've seen some old ones that had 10% spreads. So if that product made 10%, you made nothing, which is wild. Okay, but if it made 30%, you made 20, right? So a spread is not a fee. A spread is basically they're taking it off the top, okay? And then there's a fee. And some of these have fees, some of them don't, but it's basically a fee to purchase that index. Normally that comes with something, some type of benefit, okay? These are all details that are going over most of your guys' heads. Unless I'm kind of reading the room here, and glazed, pretty sure sleeping, snoring. Yeah, now you're picking your head up. There's a method to the madness, guys. The reason why I'm even talking about this stuff is so that you guys understand that it's kind of hard. It's kind of complex. When you first got into Medicare, was everything super easy? Was it just fancy schmancy, I can do this easy? Or did you have to learn about what Part A is? Why does that stupid deductible change? Why do Medicare Advantage plans, why are they so different from, network to network? Okay, what are these MOOPs? What the hell is a MOOP? Sounds like something from a Dr. Seuss book, right? It's complicated, right? Make sure that if you even want to dabble in these, you're learning from somebody who knows what the heck they're talking about, okay? I got 12 minutes. I want to do a quick little Q&A once I get through this stuff, okay? So next one, this is my kind of category. Think of it as lifetime income annuity. You can have that in multiple different ways, a rider or something called a SPIA or a DIA. I'm calling it a lifetime income annuity. Why? What do you think it does? Oh my gosh. Woo! Christian, you got some bright people in here. That's exactly right. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. So a lifetime income annuity, let me tell you why we like these. Okay? You guys ever heard me do any type of training or anything and I talk about the birthday cake analogy? Raise your hand if you've ever heard me talk about the birthday cake analogy. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 4. Alicia, that's my assistant. She's like, yeah, I've heard it. I heard you over the phone. Yeah, the door was shut. I still heard it like 40 times a day. Stupid birthday cake. All right. So think of this. You're planning a birthday party. Who here has ever planned a birthday party? Got kids? No? Come on, you've planned a birthday party. Let's participate. Raise your hand if you've ever planned a birthday party. Thank you. God. I'm not really actually angry. So you're planning a birthday party, and you don't know how many kids are going to come. You just put flyers out and, the whole telephone, everybody invited everybody. You don't know how many kids are going to come, okay? And you got one cake, and they're all coming at different times. How are you going to slice the cake? Oh, boy. You slice that cake too thick, those kids are going to be pissed at you at the end. They don't have any cake. You slice the cake too thin, and you got a bunch of cake left over, and you got to eat it. And then you gain 60 pounds. We don't want that to happen, okay? Think of it as when you're in retirement, or your clients are, and they're trying to figure out how to slice their retirement income, but they have no idea how long they're going to live. How do they know how to slice it? You take too much out first, and you're going to run out of money later, right? There's a little thing called the 4% rule, okay? It's kind of a staple. Means, hey, you take 4% of your investments if they're in the market in any way, shape, or form, and you can pretty much live off of that for the rest of your life. If you take out more, you run the risk of outliving that. You live too long, you're 90, and you're a door greeter at Walmart, or 80, or sometimes 70, if you're really bad at your money. A lifetime income annuity slices the cake perfectly for you, okay? It's something where you give an insurance company money, and they're going to give you a cake slice, okay? And that income that they're giving you, in most cases, is going to be for the rest of your life, okay? So what happens after 10 or 15 years when you've exhausted the money you gave them? They are still giving you a paycheck. So how do you calculate interest? It's kind of an internal rate of return, or it's really based on how long do you live. You live 30 years, you can almost triple your money in today's rates. Almost, okay? That's why we like these so much. So think of it as if you had a client with $1 million and they use the 4% rule, they can take 40 grand out of there. Today's rates with a good carrier, you can get 40 grand with almost about 500,000, depending on age, state, all that. So what does that do for a client? It gives the whole rest of their portfolio flexibility. You've now covered an income need or want or whatever it was. You've covered that with less money, which means they can invest that money, and it doesn't matter if it goes to zero. You've just covered their need. Now, is it a good investment from the standpoint of like, hey, what's my return going to be? No, it's awful. They make like nothing, literally. If you put money in an income annuity, like a fixed index annuity with an income rider, okay, it will literally make like 1% to 2%, maybe. That's it. But that's not what matters. What matters is that you have a contractual agreement between you and the insurance company, okay? And you're going to get that paycheck for the rest of your life, which is giving you peace of mind, and it's giving your portfolio flexibility, right? That's why it's there. Now, is it right for everybody? No. Joshua Youngs and I just had a conversation about that. Okay, it's not right for everybody. They can be horrible products for some people. Horrible. If you don't have an income need or an income want, if that's all covered by Social Security, pension, then it's probably not right for you. Maybe planning on for inflation and all that, but it's probably not right for you, okay? So you see how sometimes it's not about a bad annuity, it's just bad for one type of person, but it could be phenomenal for another. I just wrote one for an individual, okay? They were freaking out. I don't have enough money. I'm gonna have to just keep working forever, right? Because they're following the 4% rule. And we were able to take a huge chunk, not too big, it was suitable, it was all that, okay? And we put it into an income annuity, and we got them double what their expected income, what they thought was going to happen. That's awesome. You just given that person freedom, peace of mind. Do you know how rewarding that is, guys? And it came with a paycheck. That's awesome. Legacy annuity. There are a lot of different types of annuities, by the way. These are like the top ones that I use. Legacy annuity is pretty interesting. Okay, these are mostly through fixed index products. Okay, but it's a rider. Basically, if somebody has a need to pass assets along, there's a lot of ways you can do that. Life insurance, if you're an IUL fan, IULs, whole life, whatever, term life. Okay, there's charitable remainder trusts. There's a lot of things you can do. But annuities have this nice little niche where they can guarantee you a death benefit, okay, that goes up every year, which is pretty cool. So let's say you have a client that's like, all of my problems are solved. My income is met. I got great health insurance. I'm frugal. I got family I want to take care of, right? And I have these assets I want to pass on, and I want very little to no risk inside of that, right? Well, you can do that. There are annuities out there that allow you to put X amount in. The death benefit will grow up to a certain period of time. Okay, so let's say $1 million turns into $2 million in a 15-year period, and it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed. It's a very niched thing, but it's something that's super undersold. Super undersold. Now, Tracy, what happens where somebody needs access to that money during that time? Well, some of them have as small, low surrenders down to 5 years, okay? So there is flexibility there, okay? This is kind of a niche thing, okay? Come see me out in the lobby, okay? I'll be happy to help talk to you about that a little bit, but it's something that's very underutilized, so I wanted to cover it. The big thing here, when you're offering annuity or you're looking at annuities for your clients, okay, is what problem is it solving? If it's not solving a problem, then don't offer it. Simple as that. Don't just sell it because it makes you a big commission. You guys all know that, okay? You're all moral and ethical and all that, okay? But unfortunately, it happens. When you're used to selling a plan that makes you $300 and all of a sudden you sell one that makes you $30,000, whoa. Can we all say, whoa? Makes you want to sell another one, right? Or two, or three. Don't chase it. Commissions are the fastest runner in the world. Promise you. You think Usain Bolt's fast? Nope. Little guy called comp. It'll blow him out of the water, okay? But if you don't chase it and you solve a problem, you'll just start swimming in opportunity. I promise you, okay? I stopped chasing commissions a long time ago. And I make a nice living. Okay, best-selling concept. If you guys were here last year, I talked about sequence of returns. If you could get anything out of this presentation, I got 4 minutes to explain it. Here it is. Who is listening? Thank you. Okay, this is like the number one thing that I use day to day that helps me close business and solve problems, and it's a little thing called sequence of returns. Who here knows what it is? Raise your hand. Awesome. Ron, raise your hand. Gosh, he knows everything. All right, so sequence of returns can be complicated, but we're going to make it really simple. Let's say you have $1 million and you have your money invested and it falls 30%. What are you at? Perfect. You guys are smart. Let's say you don't touch that. No dividends to reinvest. Don't touch it. And over the next year, it goes back up 30%. What are you at? Wow. I don't even think I heard anybody say $1 million. Raise your hand if you said $1 million. Just be honest. That's okay. That's okay. We always got a few, right? I thought the same thing, by the way. It's like, what, went down 30%, went up 30%. I don't know percent. No, I'm kidding. I'm messing with you. So by the way, great karaoke. Okay, awesome. Who here saw karaoke last night? Oh my gosh, you guys missed it. It was awesome. Clap, everybody clap. It was awesome. It was awesome. David Deaton, where you at, dude? You're the best. You're the best. So that sequence, right, where you go down 30%, up 30%, You technically kind of just saw a 0% return, but you have less money, right? That's called a sequence of return. And where there's a little concept called sequence of returns risk, which means you need a higher return to get back to even. Do you guys know what that return is? No. 46-ish% if you have a 30% loss, 46% gain. Do you know how many times the S&P 500 has returned 46% January to December? Like 4, I think, since 1928, something like that. It's not often. Okay, now it's had returns like March to March of like 2021, where it did like 64%, but end over end, year over year, it doesn't. It's not a gain that you would expect in a portfolio normally. Am I right, Ron? Especially for a retiree, unless they're like, I want a lot of risk, put me in cryptocurrency. Made a lot of money in cryptocurrency, but lost a lot of money too. So there's your 100 grand. I used $1 million. Wow, I was really shooting for the stars. 100,000 loses 30. Over 1 year, you're at 70. 70K gains 30. We did all this. We're way ahead of schedule. Okay. So what if you were drawing income? Whoa, hold on a second. Let's go back. Let's say you had that $1 million, but then you were also taking out 4% or 5% or more of that original principal. That's 40, 50, 60,000. You just lost 30% and then went in the hole another 30, 40, 50, 60,000. Now what do you think your sequence is? A lot higher, right? A lot higher. That's called sequence of returns risk. That is something that we like to solve in annuities. Because annuities, there's your graph. 10% loss, 11% to come back. 15%, 18 to come back. 30, 43, I was off, sorry. 40, 67. 50, welcome to 08, ladies and gentlemen, in some portfolios at least. Double, 100%, okay? That's pretty crazy. What we like about annuities is this little thing called the power of zero. No, I didn't take that from anybody for you IUL nerds, okay? The power of zero meaning that when the market goes down, if I don't have a fee and I'm not in a variable annuity product, my money's protected, okay? It allows you to take more money out of a product as well because you don't have that sequence. That's something we like with annuities. If you can explain that concept to your clients, it is the number one thing that makes me a very good living. Sequence of returns risk. If you guys want to talk more, I'll be in the back over here. If you want to follow me, you can go to theannuitygiants.com. We have a great training platform as well as a weekly training for free. It's called Monday Mugs and Money. You guys are welcome to join. Follow me on Facebook, Annuity Giants. And if you ever have a question, you can email my assistant. It goes to me at some point, okay? And I'll be happy to answer it. God bless you guys.